want your ass in mine.
I have a cold.
You better not get me sick. That's all I have to say. Yes, sir.
I forgot my dad's jacket. Let me see. Because my mom gave me a jacket because I forgot to bring one this morning, so she gave me my dad's and then I forgot it in the car.
Love you later. Start now. Alright. If you will get a marker out, put it right above your, nope, do not open it. Just put it right above your marker for your whiteboard, okay? You will have plenty of time to use it, and I will get you on it here in just a minute, but I don't want you to find it in your hand yet. Okay. If I can have all your eyes, please turn your knees towards me. See your knees. Turn your knees towards me. Turn your knees towards me, makes it a lot easier. Like this. All harder to look at you, right? Knees towards me, Jack. Hannah, knees towards me. Alright. What did we talk about yesterday? We talked when we got into our math. What was it that we... Partial sums, okay? And with that, what did we have to break our numbers that we had into an expanded form, okay? And that took, Lily, these put your chair up, push these towards me. Okay? So, with that, our partial sums, let's just do a quick number here. 175 plus 316. Alright? We're going to break apart our number and expand it into hundreds, because that's all we have at the moment. If we had thousands, if we had 2,000 here, we would add a 1,000 spot, which doesn't change anything. We would just expand it a little farther, right? It's still the same process. Alright, so how many hundreds do we have in our first one here? One, just 100, right? Okay. Plus, do you want to do it that? Want to go across?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we can go down. If we do that, we can go down. Plus, how many tens? 7 tens, right? Which is 70. Plus, how many ones? 5, right? 5 ones. I hear markers being squeaked, which is not a good thing, because I told you to put them up above your board, right? So, we broke it down into hundreds. We had 100, we had 7 tens, 5 ones. 100, 7 tens of 70, 5 ones, which is, what's our total then?
100.
What?
175.
175, okay. So, our next one here, how many hundreds do we have?
300.
Okay.
3.
3, we have 3, which makes 300. How many tens do we have, Lily? How many tens? In our 10 spot. Just 1, right? So it's 10. Plus, how many ones do we have here?
6. 6.
6. We have 6 ones, so plus 6. Alright? Which equals what? 300 plus 10 plus 6. What's 300 plus 10 plus 6?
316.
316, right? 316. Okay? So we're going to add those now. What is 6 plus 5? 11. So our 1's here. Our 1 goes up here. 1 plus 7?
1.
1 plus 7?
8.
8 plus 1? 9. 3 plus 1?
4.
4. Okay? Right there. We also could have done it like this, where we added down from our hundreds. 300 plus 100, what's that? 4, right? We have 4 hundreds right there. 4 hundreds. Plus, how many tens? 10 plus 70. 8 tens, yep. And we just say, no, it's okay. We need to get in that way of saying 8 tens is 80, right? Like we said yesterday in that Khan Academy video. 8 times 10, right? It's just 8 tens. We have 4 times 100, 4 100s. We have 8 tens, 8 times 10, okay? Or 10 plus 70. And then how many ones do we have here? 11, right? 6 plus 1. So we have 11. So the only thing that I like, that seems easier for me again, is to do it this way and bring it across. It's up to you guys again though, because you can work down. I think Luke, you seem to enjoy actually doing it down this way. I think that was you that was doing it. The only thing with that then is you end up with 400 plus 80 plus 11, which is fine. Here you just get to then go straight up and down, adding that way.
But I think like that one you can add down your separate numbers, but that one's all is together, and I kind of like that because if you get it, you can actually just the numbers together and right there.
Yeah. The only thing with if you do it this way, which is fine, there's one more step if in this way to then line them up 400 plus 80 plus 11, which is fine. Okay, if you wanted to do that. But this also helps with our mental math. What's 400 plus 80? 18.
480.
480 plus 11.
491.
We had 80. 91, yeah, because we had another 10 there, right? So 491, okay? So we are today going to take this idea. We're still kind of in the same idea.
I usually, if I do it up and down, like with the expanded form up and down, but I add it from my ones, my tens, my hundreds, and then I
Okay, so however you do that, again, it's up to you on that way that you want to use that. If you use it that way and you come all the way across, or you go down, it's up to you. Okay? Carter, head up please. Ezekiel, head up. Alright? So with that, we're today going to do it's a lot the same in ways, and it's a little different. We're going to do column addition, okay? So, with column addition, we're, instead of expanding like we did, we're going to make a column of things where we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. All right, if we did thousands, we could make another column of thousands. All right, so if I had the numbers 248 plus 187 equals, we don't know yet. How many? Okay, so what are my hundreds here for both? What are my hundreds in the, what's my first hundred? How many hundreds do I have in 248? 2. I have 2 hundreds. How many do I have in this one? How many hundreds do I have in 187?
1.
How many hundreds? 187. How many here? 100. It's pretty, once you start using, especially the hundreds, that's really easy. 4,000. 4,000. Well, how many thousands do I have, right? So, okay. Now, how many tens do I have in this first one? McKenna? 248. 48. I'm on this one here. My tens.
49.
Yeah, so I have 40, 4 tens, right? So we got that one. Now in this one, 187, how many, Mari? 8 tens, right? Okay. Now I have, how many ones in my first one, Emma? 8. 8 ones. Now how many in my final one, Ben? 7. Okay. So now I've got those set up. Can I add this across? We're going to add here. What's 8 plus 7? 15. So my 5 comes down. Do I have to carry one over here? If I have 5, can I put 15 in my ones? I can't, right? I can only go up to 9 ones, right? So I carry it over here. Now, put it at the top so it looks a little better. I have 8 plus 4. What's 8 plus 4, Dalton? Pens down. Do not have them in your hand, please. 12 plus 1, 13. So do I need to add one over here, right? To my hundreds. Okay, so what's 1 plus 2? Lily Ray, what's 1 plus 2? Okay, what's 3 plus 1? 4. Okay, so my answer here, did you see how we broke that into columns? And now my answer is 437, or sorry, 435. I could also just line it up the same way here. This is the same, I mean, I'm just going to do it the old traditional way of lining them up. 5, there's 15, 1, 8 plus 4 is 12, 13, carry my 1, 435. Same thing, right? Okay. So all I did here was I separated again. Did I expand in a way? I kind of expanded. I took them and separated them. Okay, it wasn't the same way as expanding like we did yesterday, but I expanded in a similar way. All right. I want you now, really quick, to put. I'll leave this up here so you can see the example. I want to see you do 47 on your board. 47 plus 68 in columns. All right, we're going to do the column addition. So do we need hundreds? Do we have a hundreds column? No, we don't. Neither of these have hundreds, right? So we'll make our tens column. And do we have ones? Yeah, we have ones. So we'll have to put that in there. All right, now I want you to do that on your own. Just like we just did. How many tens? What are your tens? What are your ones? And then we'll add those up. At least get your numbers written here, and at least get your column set up. If you don't know where to go from there, at least get that much set up. Our number plus our other number, one number plus another number, and then another column. And then our tens column and our ones column. Remember, just like if we were adding here, we started our right, okay, and we go left. So we want to start with our ones and add those first, because if we start with our tens, what's going to happen? If I have 8 plus 7 in my ones, 7 and 8, and I have in my tens 4 and 6, okay, I have to start here to add over to this one if I have any extras. If I have 4 and 5 over here, I don't have to worry about it, but I need to make sure that my numbers here are going to be able to be transferred over here. Hold on, put the boards down, please. Correct. Did you set up your columns? Like we did? Okay, how many tens did we have here? Did we have 40 tens? Or do we have in this first number. Okay, we're gonna walk through it real quick again. Alright. Okay. We're gonna walk through this one together. If you're done, awesome. If you're not, eyes right up here. And walk through this with me. Okay? Is everybody set up at least this far? You have 47 plus 68, you have a column of 10s, you have a column of 1s. Is everybody there? Okay? Now, we are going to add these by separating them and putting them in different columns. We're going to separate them first. What is our 10 in our first number? How many 10s do we have? 4, right? 4 in our first one. We don't have 40 10s. Our number would be 40, but we don't have 40 10s. We only have 4. Okay? How many 10s do we have in our second number over here? 6. Okay? You can either do it that way or you can say 4 10s, then you have 7 1s here. So how many 1s do we have in our first number? How many 1s did we have here? We already did our 10s. How many 1s? Colton? 7. Right? There's 7 1s there. How many 1s do we have in our second problem? 8. Okay. Now we are going to do, now that we've set up and we've separated our 1s and our 10s, we have to add these up. Lily, do we have this written down? Our 1s. You have your 1s written in there and your 10s? Put your 1, your 10s, your 4, and your 6 in here. Your second part. Because we're taking our first 10 of 4, putting it here. Second 10 of 6 and putting it here. And we're taking our first 1, 7, putting it there. Second 1 of 8, putting it there. Okay? Now, we have to add these. Alright? What is 8 plus 7? Colton? 15. So our 5 comes here. Our 1 transfers over here, right, to our 10s. Put it up here again, sorry. What's 6 plus 4, Lily? 10 plus our extra 1. How much do we have now? 11. Okay. What's our answer? 115. Right? Okay, so that's column addition. Again, it's not something that you have to do. You do not have to do it this way. If we don't ask you to do it, if we don't say, hey, you got this homework sheet, or you got this worksheet they were working on, or we're going to play this game and I want to see that you can put it down this way, you don't have to. But this is a way that we wanted to show you and teach you a way that you can do this, okay? So, we are now going to, I'm going to come around, we're going to play a little game.
Do we get to race?
You can erase your board, yep.
I forgot it.
Alright, I'm going to really quick, eyes on me please, eyes on me, all eyes on me. 42 of them. Don't, need yours as well. Okay, 42 eyes. Right about me. Here we go. I'm going to put this up here so you can see. Number plus number equals question. We don't know. I'm going to give you something here in a second, and you can do it. Okay?
Anyway?
Huh?
Anyway?
I'm going to show you here in just a second. But I'm just putting this. This is how you would set this up. Whatever number you get, plus the other number you get, plus equals we don't know. We're going to set up our hundreds. We're going to then set up our columns, right? Our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. I want to see this on your board. Okay? You'll put your ones in, you'll put your tens in, you'll put your hundreds in, and you'll add them all up. Okay? So I want to see that like we just did. Alright, what I'm going to do is come around with these. What you're going to do is pull out 2 dominoes, and that'll be your, if I pulled out a 3 and a 5, I have 350 something, and then I'm going to do this. Okay? 9. Or actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out this 1. That'll be your 100. So 400 and either 53 or 35. You get to decide. You can just flip it either way that you want. Okay? I'm going to come around and you're going to pull out 2 of these, and then you're going to pull out 100. Alright? So the one with the blank on there is your 100. That'll be your 100.
Can I steal your banana split, friends?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
If you are banana splits, please run these fast. If you don't know, you're probably not one.
If your parents actually only had one.
The group they are in. Okay, here we go. And again, what do I need to see on your board? Does that, here, let me show you. I'll show you an example real quick, okay? I pulled out my 3 and my 5. I pulled this out. So, my number is, sorry, do it this way. Sorry, do it this way. I need my blank there. 335, okay? So that's my first one, 335. That would be this one, 335. Plus, and then you're going to pull out another one. We have to be kind of quick about this, okay? So write them down. Then I would do this and pull out another one. And it would be 673. Okay, that would be my next one, 673. Now, how many hundreds do I have in my first one? In my first number of 335, 335, how many hundreds do I have, Lily? 300. How many hundreds? Remember, 3. We're not going to put in 300. We're going to put in how many hundreds we have. Okay, so that one's good. How many hundreds do I have in my second one? Addie? 673. How many hundreds? 6. All right. Now, how many tens do I have in my first one? Lauren? How many tens? 335. How many tens do I have? 3. Okay, yep, we have to get in the mode of understanding the difference of saying those. How many tens do I have in my second one, Kate? 7. How many ones do I have, Mari, in my first one? 5. How many ones do I have in my second one, Quinn? 673. How many do I have? 3. Alright, now we have to add this up. Okay, so 335 plus 673 equals, we don't know yet, but we're about to find out. What's 5 plus 3? 8. 3 plus 7? 10, so my 0 is here. My 1 comes up here. 6 plus 3 is what? 9 plus 1? 10. So what's my new number? 1008. 1008. Okay? So that is what you're going to build. It's your 2 numbers that you get out of pulling those dominoes out. Alright? Lily? Take out. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pick one. There's that one. There's that one. There's your 2 numbers. Write them down. What are your 2 numbers? Put your... Sit down, please. This. Okay, 411. What are your 2 numbers? Write them down. 1, 3, 2. What's 1, 3, 2? Yep, write it down. 132. Now it's up. Okay, write it down. 972 is a 1. 972 plus what?
402.
Oh. Yep. 972 plus 411. 972 plus 411. Put those both down. Take out 2 of those. Okay. Put them down. There we go. There we go. Hold them. Yeah. Oh, same thing down on that one. What are your 2 numbers here? Should have a clean whiteboard. Okay, right now. What are your numbers here? Here, you guys go ahead and start making up one number. Make up one number that you want. Plus this one. What's that one? What's that number there? Make a good one.
672.
One of them. Okay.
We haven't got it.
That one? Oh, look down. Look down. Get ready to write these down. What's that number? 100 what? Nick, sit down, please. One hundred, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 170 what? This is your last one. Okay, 177, that's your first one. What's your second one? Write it down. 177 plus what? Write it down.
I'm done, guys. I didn't get my number. I got one. I didn't get my number. That was easy.
Get it. Just write it down up here. 9. Yep, 369. There you go, awesome. What's your next one?
Cherry.
What's your number? Oh, I just took the sheet. Good one, man.
This was my racist.
Okay. I heard you sniffling.
I threw that in the trash.
Sorry guys, I'm coming around.
If I just woke up
Nope, do more. Write it down. What is it?
I have two.
Yep.
500.
Two numbers. So write them down. 100 what? 100. There you go. 134. Write it down. Write it down. 134 plus what? Show the number. 134 plus what?
I still have my dominant.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. There you go. Thank you.
Mr. David, I still have my dominant.
Thank you. Who else has dominoes with them? You ever written down? You write them down? You didn't write them down? Look at this. 430, 439, write it down, plus 353. Write it down, 439. Okay, I'm working on it. 439 plus our number up here, 353. Okay. First number is 175. Sorry, 175 plus. So right there, we have an example right up there. Okay, right now 130, 175
They both have different numbers.
plus 300 and 317 plus 317. There you go. Now you're going to do the process, just put it up there on the board. Lily, did I get your numbers ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Jack? First number, Jack, write it down. 400, what? Oh, go with that one first. Get it down. Get one down. Keep on. What's that one? Yeah, make another one if you. Sure, go for it. Yep, 6. 2. 2. Yep, 622. Alright, so now look up. And here's your second one. Now, anybody over there? Nick, I want to see it in a second, so you need to build it. Build it out. What were your numbers? Write them down. One, okay, one in. What's that? The new one is this. What's that? Plus. Plus 660. Yes. 616. 134, 616. Okay. Oh, I only got you one.
280. No,
Can I get you, Dalton? Can I get you somebody? Check it 1 second.
Wait, what was it, Mr. G?
634. 634. No, 134 and 616. 616.
134.
Okay. If you are done, no. If you're done, pin down, hands on your head.
I have a cold.
Okay. I want you to show your shoulder partner, explain to them exactly what you did. I had this number first, like John done. Let me show you. This is called a fishbowl. Everybody eyes on me and Colton. It's called a fishbowl. Eyes on Colton and I. Okay? My number is 972 plus 411. So my hundreds were the 9 and then the 4. My tens were 7 and 1. My ones were 2 and 1. I added 2 plus 1 was 3. That's my ones. My tens were 7 and 1. That's 8. Then my hundreds was 9 plus 4, which equaled 13. My total was 1,383. See how I explained that? Explain what your numbers were, explain how you separated them, explain how you added them back up to get your total. Cool? John, you and Lily, you can work with Nick? Yes. I understand. You work with, John, get you one of them, Jack? That's 5 and 5. Yep. Awesome setting up. You did a great job. You have 1, 3, 2. That's great. You have 2, 7, 4. Here's the thing. 4 plus 2 is what?
9.
4 plus 2. 6. What is 7? Or 3 plus 7 or 7 plus 3? 10. Here we have, so our 0 would go here, right? And then we would move our 1 over here. Okay? So you did, here you go, fix that. You did awesome. You set it up just how we wanted. The other thing was you just have to make, we have to make sure we get our math. So then I'm going to, yep, awesome. Did you both get it correct? Once you make up two new numbers for each other. Make up 2 new numbers for each other and then pass them to Got it? Awesome. Cool. Is that, hey, it's making sense? Don't make up 2 new numbers for each other. If you'd like to make up. If it's within 4 letters, like me, Dave, is me? If you and your partner agree that you were correct, I want you to then erase your words and set another drum. Set up another drum. If you would like to challenge yourself a little more, you can add the 1,000.
Oh, this thing's actually wrong.
If you and your partner agreed, you looked at each other's and you agreed you got it correct, so it's great, awesome, you're good, then erase and set each other up a new problem with 2 numbers. Make up your own 2 numbers and give them your board.
Don't make it too hard.
Make it really hard. Give them the millions. Give them the millions. Infinity plus infinity.
Okay, so you got 250. That'd be like so fun to use. Double infinity. 500. I got 25.
Alright, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The nice thing is he gave you a round, even number of 1,000. So then all you do is add 890, right? Are you understanding? Are you understanding it?
But you did it at first. You were just 2,000.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah,
I can't even